Hey everybody, this is Eric Meyer, NASA Great Lakes Chief Instructor. This video is a prerequisite for anybody that's attending a data acquisition intro seminar. You'll want to have watched this at least once. It's going to be a longer video. This is geared for those people that are first time, haven't taken the plunge. I know several of you have not taken the plunge because I can go on Track Attack and see if you've accepted the test file that I've sent, which tells me you've indicated interest, but you haven't done jack shit to follow up on it. So get on board and start learning the software, navigating around, which is what this video is for. Or quite frankly, don't attend the seminar because you're robbing from people who have been watching this. You're robbing time. Because there's many people that I'm in touch with right now that really want to learn this stuff and they want to get a lot out of the seminar. So we don't want to make it for kindergartners or nursery schoolers. We want to make it for elementary school users and above. So watch this video, take some notes, and digest. Let's get going. By now you'll have understand. There's my old man, by the way, just popped up on Facebook. By now you'll have understood that, that this page is the resource for learning about Track Attack and data acquisition. Everything you need to know is in this page. All the places that we're going to do seminars, introduction seminars, are here. There are 3 in Columbus so far. There are 2 in Cleveland. There are 4, I believe, coming to the Chicago area. There's a Cincinnati. Everything that you'll need to know. There's a couple in Indianapolis. Guys, you need to look into getting this Apex Pro device. It is the best value of high quality data acquisition on the market. And if you go to this events right here, which is under December 25th, here are the codes to get a free extra mounting base plate, 50% off. A suction cup mount, which you want. There's the code right there. Enough about that commercial, but I totally believe in this product. In fact, we're going to be using it in our HPD program next year, and the Apex Pro guys are headed our way for support. It is a killer product. Okay, so here is where all the places that are coming to town, and if you're reading this, you should understand and know that there are a lot of opportunities to learn. There are a lot of opportunities to learn. There are a lot of opportunities to learn. So you can take advantage of it to have a great 2019 or not. That's entirely up to you. I can tell you that I'm committed right now to helping as many people that want help, and I'm also not committed to people who say, "Yeah, I'd like to learn more about it," and they don't do jack. So take advantage if you like. Here are all the places. We got I'm going to change this right here. This tentative for Ross, my good friend and our friend Ross Bentley, that 33 people are going and 29 are interested in Indianapolis. There will be a cost for this event. This is no longer tentative, and I'm going to change that right now. So indicate your interest. We're going to talk specifically about Mid-Ohio, performance driving, advanced instruction. Ross has, you know what, if you're going somewhere and you're heading to the championships at Mid-Ohio and you want to do well, you need to attend this workshop, this seminar. It is action-packed and geared specifically for you. Guys, I'm here to help you take home some trophies at Mid-Ohio, and so is Ross. That's what we're having him talk about. And that's Saturday the 23rd. That's Saturday the 23rd. Okay, let's get going here. You'll know by now, and if you don't, you're going to know right now, that my business page, YouTube page, which is PhotoByMeyer, which you'll see a lot of photography equipment and things like that, is where I'm putting this playlist, Intro to Data Acquisition. Everything you need to know right now is on here, right? look at these files that are related to this. And the ones I want to point out are anything that say test file. These are the ones that I would watch in addition to the video that you're watching now, and understand. This will allow you to get the most out of the workshop. And you can see there's 13 minutes, 7 minutes, another 13. I'm making a couple more right now, and there's probably about 2 hours of total view time. Again, under the intro to data acquisition. And you can watch any and all these. The more you watch, the more you're going to get it. I made them relatively short. And also things like this. If I do any analysis for Nick or Mike or John Santiago, I put that stuff in here. You're welcome to see those. They're just going to help you learn. Okay? You can also look at videos 1 through 5. I stacked them so that it's easy to learn. Okay? So far you have you've been on this data acquisition page. You know that there's a ton of resources, including all the events. There's some great discussions going on right here. This book is killer. There's about 10 people reading it in our region right now, possibly more. There's about 10 that I know. Get it. It's an easy read. This guy Chris is putting on a seminar in Indianapolis that I think 4 of our drivers are going to right now. It's $300. And take a look, Google squiggly lines right in here. Not Google, Facebook squiggly lines for more information. So there's the videos. There is some track attack information. This is your go-to resource. This is our buddy Andrew Rains that's coming in. He's very super helpful. Look at what Bill Griffin says. Simply amazing. Use my Apex Pro and my HB1 student card NCM. He was overslowing, blah, blah. You can read that stuff later. There is some wonderful information on this page. Jump on board. Okay. So enough of that. We have this page. We have the YouTube page. Now we have the track attack page. Don't attend the workshop if you don't have an account. Period. I'm not letting you in, to be honest with you. That shows you're not willing to do the effort. And no offense, I'm not going to put my time and effort into helping you if you can't just get a free account. So what you want to do is you want to join this team right here. This is the NASA Great Lakes team. You'll see that there are some 70 folks, I believe. There's Ross Bentley, John Santiago, right? A lot of folks. Even if you're out of region, you're welcome to attend. Matt Park, Tall Rob, Mike Job. You get the idea. NASA J. Join this team right here so I can share information with you. Because if you join Track Attack, I don't know who you are, right? I don't know who you are, and I don't know your handle to search from you, right? And quite frankly, I'm not going to do it. So put forth the effort. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share a file with you. I don't know if I've already shared it with Jay. I'm going to type in NASA J right there. I'm going to share that file. Awesome. Invitation has been sent. I'm going to share this test file, which is the file that we're going to go through right now. If you're new to Track Attack and you've already downloaded the software, this video is for you, and I'm going to make it, it's going to be dumbed down to go through some of the features. Okay? So presumably you've synced this hard drive software to the cloud, and what it's doing right now is syncing any files that you uploaded, either uploaded to the software and it's going to sync them to the cloud, or I've shared them with you and it's going to sync from the cloud to your hard drive. Here's our test file. Here are the folks that are sharing information for me right now. I'm happy to look at it for you. There is no cost for that right now. There's going to be one in the future. and it'll be very tiny, but it takes some time to do this analysis, and if you want to learn, you can do it yourself. And I'll suggest to you that after the workshops and watching these videos, you'll be able to, guys, you'll be able to do this yourself, and I'll be here to help, but not do it for you. So we're going to open this test file right here, which is John Alfini, 6 laps, NCM. This is a custom track that I've created for those of you advanced users, and he runs at 218. So we're going to open this up right here, and what we're going to see over here is a little bit of outing information. I just double-clicked. If you see a lot of folks on here, this is because these are all my friends on the team that we saw back here, right? The NASA Great Lakes team. All these folks right here, 70 some odd people, right? That's why those shows up right there. And that's why also their cars show up right there, which is kind of fun. Look, somebody named their car Michelle. Roxy, that's John Santiago, right? You getting the idea? By the way, if you're looking at these, there's a chance that you can meet some folks and choose to, that's Robin, right? Mr. Steeda. There's a chance that you can go now see these folks too and say, hey, that's a car like mine. I'm going to go request that file to see if they can share it to compare. Because I'm telling you right now, when you compare to both yourself and to others, that's when you learn. And that's the power of data acquisition. Guys, that's why pros have 2 drivers in a car or 2 car teams, so they can compare data, figure out who is faster in a particular area, drill down and understand why they're faster in that particular area, and copy those driving behaviors and actions so that the entire team runs faster. That's the benefit. That's the benefit. If you are a person that wants to hide your data, jump on here and hide your data, but don't expect to see others' data, or don't request it without sharing it back. So if you're in a spec series, you can choose to go faster by sharing your data, and typically others will share theirs as well, or you can sit on yours and try to hide all your secrets. Okay? Let's keep going here. First thing you want to do and understand is this graph. And oh, I know why it's not showing up. We don't have a channel selected. So we just selected GPS speed, right? Before we didn't have any channels. That's why it wasn't showing the graph. Apologize. But first thing you want to do is you want to go to GPS speed. This is the #1 channel that people look at, period. The pros, the professional guys, this is the one you want to look at. And you'll see down here that this is in distance, right? In this particular scenario, it's in feet. And if we wanted to change it and it wasn't in feet, we'd go up here to channels. We'd go up here to distance. We'd look over here and say we want to change it to miles. All right? Let's pretend we did. There it is in miles, right? Most people do feet. Some people do yards. Some people do meters. Typically in the U.S., people do feet. This is the same thing with mile per hour, and for whatever reason, notice it says GPS speed mile per hour, because that's the channel that we selected right here, right? GPS speed. So that's the one that shows up. I'm going to go here, we're going to look at GPS speed, and it is represented in miles an hour. But if we wanted to do, look at that, knots. If we want to do kph, right? Because you know that for whatever reason, you're more than welcome to. Again, most all people that I know use mile per hour. So go back to GPS speed. We'll switch that back. Miles an hour, apply, okay. Now it's miles an hour. Assuming you're very new to this, there's a couple features that you want to know about. Right here, where it says show values. Do you see this black cursor right here? Do you see how there's no numbers at the top of this graph point of the speed trace? When I hit this right here, it shows up the mile per hour. I like using that. Most people I know do. You can use that. If you need to be super micro and this helps you see, you're welcome to it. That one's right there. Okay. Might be easier to see that that's close to 120, right? And right there, this is 105. You get the idea. I don't like it. I like this kind of clean. This one is really interesting. A lot of folks will do this, and so if you ever see a screen and go, what the heck is that? A lot of software like Rig Studio and Motec and many others, a lot of folks look at it because the colors pop a little bit more. Go for it, man. And then this one's really neat over here, and I would encourage you to use this one, and this is the map. Now, we're going to do a little bit and show you something here. I'm going to grab this right here and drag it around, and it automatically will sort of format wherever you drag this stuff around. It's really hard to see that map, isn't it? So this is why you have the ability to turn this bad boy, right? And then right over here is the plus sign. You can increase it. If you like this look, great. If you want to put your track map over here, great, go for it. If you don't want to have these sections right here, this is lap selection. That turns that off to make this a little bit better. You want to stick your map over here, maybe put it on angle or straight up and down, right? You can do that. But the main thing that most people do is make this graph area real nice and big. It's just easier to see, but you can do whatever you want. Okay? So play around with that, move it around, put it up here, put it over here, whatever you want to do. I'm going to go back to stick it over here. I don't know why, I just like it. And I kind of try to shrink it down a little bit just to use that map for a reference. And I try to make it as big as possible, which still fits in there. You can drag it around too, as you can see there. Okay? So we got our GPS speed trace, and that's because we highlighted it right there. And if we want to do something like change this color, I double clicked on that. The boldness of this indicates the fastest lap. So if you look through here with all these laps, out lap, in lap, the bold one is the fast lap, and it's also the reference lap. There's a video on YouTube about what reference or lap compare is. You can drill down and look at that. It is over here. It's one of the ones that says test file that you want to read. Basics of lap compare. Basics of lap compare will help you understand this right here. 2 laps selected, and that's what this thing is right here. I'm not going to get into that. There's a video for that. Okay, just going to look at this one file. Okay, we're going to play around here a little bit more. Friction circle based on 1 lap. Kind of hard to read, right? Longitudinal acceleration, right? Lateral acceleration, right and left, backwards and forwards, right? And if we want to know a little bit more about that, we just highlight some more files that allow you to see this more easily. There's abundance of data points over here because the track does a lot of left-hand turns. We'll do a video on here on the traction circle or friction circle in the future. Histogram. If you know how to read histograms, this is great. This is super awesome. If you have the throttle position or throttle channel. It's really, really, really helpful. If you want to look in it, great. If you don't, great too. I typically spend more of my time in graph with this right here. Okay. Split times. There is a video on this, and it's right here under section times. It's the test file. I'm going to use the same exact file that we're using right here. John Alfini, his outings at NCM, to make it really easy for you to understand. Okay, let's keep going here. I'm going to add some channels. I'm going to get rid of this and move this out of the way. I'm just going to keep that one lap, right? And then I'm going to get rid of this to make it real nice and big. But I'm going to keep the map over here so it's really easy to know where you are on track. Advanced users will, let's get rid of the track map. You'll know where you're at on track with this. But if you don't know and you're brand new and you're like, I have no idea where I'm at right now, put the map on there, guys. That's what it's there for. It'll allow you to understand that when you're right here, that's right there on the track, right? Remember, this is the finish line. This is the start line. These are big, long straights, right? These are big, long straights, right? Where's this if you've been to NCM? Absolutely turn 10. There's deception, right? Is it starting to make sense for you? Follow me? We got the sinkhole right here, right? Some of the switchbacks, the S's right here, makes sense. There's coming onto the front straight right here. Okay, so we're going to add some channels, and the typical channels that people add are lat accel and long accel. And again, there's some videos on that under the right there, understanding the long G trace, that will help you understand the long G trace. Okay. This one, and this is a little more advanced, and it is included in the Apex Pro data, is total. And man, this is also called G sum or total G, or basically it's a combination, a mathematical combination of both this and this together. And it says how much are you using of the friction circle, right? So in this particular scenario, assuming John's car has a capability, I want you to look down here. I want you to look down here, okay? He's spiking at 1.5 G's right there, which makes sense because that's a high load, slower corner. There's also one over here as well. Let's see what he pulls over here. Might be kind of close. 1.37, right? Probably in the sinkhole as well. Look at that. It's because the nature of the compression of the uphill and downhill that allow you to get more grip in your car. Okay, so if you want to know, as an example of your total friction circle on something like this, look at the track map, please. How much are we using? There's at least 1.4 total G's and in the traction circle, and we're not getting everything out of this. So technically, we could go faster through there. There's more lateral grip, especially in a car with aero, because we're going 98 miles an hour. So that your aero should be working. You should be taking advantage of that, guys. Should be taking advantage of that. So if you're one of those wing and splitter, especially those goofy extractors in the back, but you have no flat bottom in your car, which means it ain't working. Guys, if you have an extractor at the back of your car and you don't have a flat bottom and you don't have a spoiler on the front, it ain't working. You need to just get rid of it. It looks goofy. You don't know what you're doing. Okay. So as we're looking here, right, it's just some really basics. Look at the track map. It says we're having a lateral G of about 3/4 of a G, right? Down here it does as well. Remember, these are right-hand turns. If you look right here, right, this is a left-hand turn, and this is a right-hand turn, right? This is the center line with 0 0, 0 G's, and you typically see this on a straightaway right here. See how that says 0, and right here as well, 0. If your current data ac is not reading this, you need to calibrate it. That's the issue. You might say like 3.4 or something crazy. You're not getting 3.4 G's. It's just not calibrated correctly, and that might read here as well. Okay. Longitudinal, remember that's braking G's and accelerating G's. We can see here that it has a braking force of about -1.2, probably a little bit more here. Nope, 1.2, 1.2. What do we got going on here? Big braking zone, head of steam. Right. So this is a little bit about approximate analysis. Look at that. Look at that load right there. Total G's of 1.6. Right. That's 60 miles an hour going down the hill. Right. And it's a combination of. I'm going to try to go straight ahead on this, straight above. It's a combination of 1.3 lateral G's and 0.2 longitudinal G's. And you might do the math and say, hey, that doesn't add up properly. Well, there's some formulas that go into this that total acceleration does, and you simply can't add both of them together. It's a goofy thing with square roots and it's a goofy formula. I'm not a math guy. If you want to look into it, Google what sum G or total G is, and it'll tell you all about it. I just know that this is a correct formula and represents how much of the friction circle that we're using, which is right here, right? In this particular case, right, there's some crazy spikes out here. We can throw those out. But it looks like we're right in here for the most part, right? Which is 1.3, 1.4 G's, right? We have braking G's of -1.2 and some acceleration G's, which aren't going to be very big at all in a Miata, but are going to be big in a Z06 Corvette coming out of some slower turns of about 4/10, 5/10, half a G acceleration. Okay, look at a couple more things here. Let's go under channels. Actually, let's go back to the graph, and let's go to lap selection as well. Right. This is what my desktop typically looks like. Something like this. I'll suggest to you that other guys are doing about the same thing. I want to show you some channel information, and what this shows is the ability to do some smoothing, right, for each of these channels. Brake pressure, right, and you can change the name of these channels if you choose to. Give you some ability to modify. There's a lot of channels on here, guys, and if you are changing over from an AIM system or if you're importing files to use from other data acquisition systems, remember Track Attack is just the software for analysis. It's a software that takes just about every type of file format, including some data loggers that are for carting. These are the channels that are all ready for you they're sort of mapped in here. They're ready to go, right? There's some more powerful software, and if you don't know about it, you're probably not ready for it. Some very powerful software on there, being the Pi, Motec, Race Studio. They're also really hard to learn. This is the easiest software that there is to learn with some good quality data, other than your smartphone, which you really can't do much with. It's just sort of for review. This allows you to do some analysis and start looking into some stuff. Okay, is that making sense? Understanding what I've just showed you right now, understanding split times. Again, there's a YouTube video for it. right here. You want to look at this. This lap compare is this one right here. This little guy right here. I pick two files to compare. Right. Watch that video to learn about that. If you want to look at split times, watch the video about that. Histogram's really popular with a throttle position. It basically says how much time am I spending at 100% throttle, which is kind of what you want to do, right? You want to be mashed around the track as much as possible and not feathering it. We learned a little bit about channels. I'm going to do some stuff in the future about how to make custom segments for tracks that look like this right here, right? Put these segments in here. There's actually a video for that right here, right here. Again, under Intro to Data Acquisition. Guys, I made these for you. So if you want to jump in, and here's how to import AIM files. All these stuff, here's a little bit of Brian Bolander stuff, looking for variation. All the stuff you need, RPM basics, all the stuff you need to know is represented in these files. This is a minute, 8 minutes, 8 minutes. Jump on board. Now's the time to do it. I'm there to help answer your questions at the workshop. I'm less likely to do that if you come to a workshop unprepared and then meet me at the track at Mid-Ohio and say, hey, I just started learning this track attack software. No offense. I'm probably not as motivated to help you. I got off-track season time right now, but I'm freaking busy as shit during a NASA weekend, and I don't have time to teach you how to do this. Time is right now. Okay, there you go. If I was doing one thing and I wanted to learn, I would buy this book. I would get myself a Track Attack account. I'd even go as far as getting an Apex Pro account. Download this software to Android or your iPhone. Guys, this is super powerful, and it's on sale right now, and we're going to be using it a lot. You're going to see this. You're going to see a ton of these in NASA Great Lakes next year. And you're going to see a ton of support from the Apex Pro reps, which are Baker and my good buddy Andrew Rains, who are just super helpful, and they want to teach people to go fast. That's what you want to do. You want to do that, and you want to commit to some of these events right here, because that's how I know, this is how I know right here that you're interested in going, right? There are a couple people going to Starbucks. There's a lot of people interested, and 6 going to the small group at in Cleveland on next week, a week from today. So get on board, watch some videos, play around with the software, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, this is Eric Meyer.